Hey guys, I thought I'll do a daily session on just my technical analysis that I go through. It's usually a simple five-step process. Let's take an example of Mercado Libre, and then maybe we'll go through another one, which is Airbnb. But first thing I'd like to do is to go to TradingView. TradingView is my platform. I tend to use it a lot for charting. So bottom right, you go to all, you get a sense for what the stock's dynamic and its personality is. In the case of Mercado Libre, you can see a long phase of nearly just consolidating, many, many years, it seems almost, of just consolidating, all the way to August of 2018, maybe even January 2019 timeframe. That's the consolidation phase, phase number one. And then a rapid markup phase from January 2019 to February 2021, 2 years of just going up and to the right. Then you see a distribution phase and then a downtrend. So phase one, consolidation, uptrend, distribution, downtrend. So now it starts the same thing again. The first thing to remember, markets are very fractal, meaning that what happens in the short term also happens in long term, often also happens even in the longer term. So keep that in mind while you're going through this. So you go through the first phase, and then I try to move to a 5-year horizon. So go backwards from an extremely long window to a third window to a lower window. So now we're in a 5-year phase. In the 5-year phase, it becomes a little bit more clear that it's gone through literally an M formation, right? So you go up like this, and then down M. So now we're looking more towards the right. Is it in a new consolidation phase? And that's what this looks like to a certain extent. Again, it starts to begin its consolidation, seems to have gotten out of this consolidation period. As you can see, it's trying to be a little bit more consolidated around this area, went up and down. You could call this also consolidation phase, but once it goes past that, it's got to go up. Then I'm going to go to a 1-year time frame and then go first to a weekly, and then go through a monthly. So on the weekly, still looks a little bit like it is in the consolidation phase, wanting to be able to move up. Then I go to the daily time frame. And in the daily time frame, what I'm looking for primarily is what kind of patterns can I see? What kind of trends can I see in the stock? So I started drawing some lines. I'm going to erase those lines right now and then draw them again. Don't worry about too many things that are happening. These are just for purposes of demonstration. So I'm going to remove all these other fancy little drawings that I've drawn. So I can see that it's going up and then consolidates a little bit, falls a little bit down. As you can see, consolidation, markup, distribution, downtrend, consolidation, same thing, just happens again and again and again. So this has been more of a downtrend from somewhere in the 23 March timeframe all the way down until June 23 timeframe, and then it started marking up again. So it's still in a phase that I'm not really particularly sure. The next thing I do after I go to the daily is I'm trying to find out what patterns can I see. So the easiest thing to do is take from the highs that you can see a logical high and draw a line to the next logical high. Don't worry if it's not perfect. You're trying to get a sense for where this thing might head. And usually stocks follow within a range, within a pattern. Some of these patterns might be, in this particular case, it looks like it's almost like a megaphone pattern, but it's still not very sure. Whereas in the short term, you can see this has gone through one. So I'm going to draw another one just to show you what that would look like. So here I'm going through one channel. You want to trend within the range. So it's gone up within this range. See, it stays very much within the range. It's not going to be perfectly viable, but at least you get a little bit of a better sense for where it is. I'm going to draw one just also in this one, just to show you guys what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going here, and then it's not perfect, but at least it's showing you a sense for staying within range. So you can see a lot of different lines and ranges. I'm going to now delete all of those to show you overall in the longer term, seems like it is forming a bullish pattern, but I'm still not sure which stage is it in. And most of the times it could be consolidation stage. Just keep that in mind. Most of the time stocks are just consolidating. So if you had to take a very long-term view, it's tried to break out of this, but fallen again. This is the extreme low that was probably in the July 23 timeframe, and it had been to 1077, but it's still consolidating in this range. This could take a long time. So if you want to go on a shorter time frame, you want to say, okay, in the shorter time frame, what does it look like? Still consolidating. It's going within a narrow pattern. Let me draw those two patterns. or those two highs and lows for you. So support and resistance is the next thing. Look for the extreme tops. You could start at the extreme top, or you could go a little bit lower to show you where it rejected. So at the 1362 level, there seems to be resistance there, and there's enough support, meaning there's lots of buyers when it comes down to a little bit below the 1555 range. You could move it a little bit higher just to show you a little bit of a better sense. But 1190, if it comes down to this stage, then it's pretty good. The other thing to note is step number 3 is moving averages. So I've got the 20 moving average, 50, 100, and 200. The colors there are red on the 20 all the way to blue on the 200. You can see these here. And what it's showing me is they're mostly flat. They're not going up. They're not going down. Down would mean this is going to go down. So look at this. This going up means look at how well the stock has gone up. Going down usually means let me go backwards and show you a little bit of what that would look like. See them going down. See the moving average is going down. That means the stock is going down. And see when it goes up. When the curve and the slope of the curve is very high, the stock's going up. In this case, it's flat. So I don't expect Mercado Libre to do dramatically big moves on a week-to-week basis. So I'm going to go even lower, go to a 6-month time horizon. It's getting shorter and shorter, and it shows you even clearly. It's still just within the range. So for me, a trading strategy for this might be anytime it comes below the 1,200 mark, somewhere in this range, because it's not an exact science, right? So you're trying to get anywhere between the 1,200 to 1,186 range. I'm going to move a little bit. If it comes down to 1,200, it's a good thing to say, I'm going to probably buy here. And if it gets as close to the 1,300, 1,360 mark, good time to say it might reject and come down unless it breaks through the barrier. Okay, so I hope that was useful. Those are the things I look at. Look at some of the other indicators like relative strength. This one actually seems like it's very strong relatively, but it's weakening up a little bit. And then sometimes I might look at the Ripster EMA cloud to give me a sense as to where that is. I'll turn that on just to show you what that would look like. And it is a very colorful chart, but it shows you right now it's still in kind of a consolidating pattern. Thank you, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my show.